All right, I'm gonna be as fair as possible. So, in this video, I want to talk about why this will probably be a catch and release for me. That's just what it is. Let's talk about it. All right, so let me start by saying that there's a phone for everyone. Everyone has a phone that they like, or everyone has several phones that they like. So the first thing that I don't like about this phone is the curved display. This curved display is curved on both sides, and it's a different kind of curve from the Galaxy line. Something about it, I'm just not impressed with it. Curved displays are very hard to deal with when you come with screen protectors and things like that, unless you're rocking with a Whitestone dome or the Pure Gear glass, a glass that's going to curve like that. Any other like these plastic screen protectors, people still buy those, by the way. They're just not gonna be right. And the curved display is definitely not one of my favorites. After getting this phone in hand and using it, immediately I knew, you know, sometimes when you get something I just knew that I would not like the way this phone was built as far as the screen goes. And so that stood out immediately, and I was totally turned off by the screen. Now, not the screen quality, the way the phone is built with all these curves, just didn't really like it. Now, another thing is the build quality itself. Even though I ordered a skin for this, it'll be here soon. I've got cases. I like to use my phones with nothing on them around the house. The quality of this phone just doesn't feel premium to me. Sounds hollow. The screen is just, I don't know. It just feels like it's not as premium as I thought it was going to be. Now, granted, the price tag is definitely pretty good on here, but the way this phone is built is heavy, for one. Now, the heft is good. Like when I first got it, I was like, this heft is really, really good. But after that, I was like, this thing's a little too heavy. And then you put a little case on it. I just wasn't really feeling it at that point. So, I mean, the quality of the phone, the way it's built, one would say that it is premium, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel as premium as I thought it was going to feel. Now, another area that I wasn't that impressed with, which everybody is raving about, is the 90 refresh rate on the screen. Now, you look at an iPad with 120, or you look at a Razr with 120, that I was able to notice the difference on, but this phone, I don't see any difference. I see people online, oh my goodness, it's blazing fast. I have it right here, and what people need to understand is everyone's not going to be impressed with the same things. You got to think like this. You can't be that closed-minded person that just because a ton of people are saying it, and if 2 people say that it's not, those people are wrong. Do not think like that, folks, because you're living. Believe it or not, you may be agreeing with the masses, but I'm going to stay on the narrow road. I like it better over here. Not very many people on this road, and I like it over here. This screen, on record, beautiful. The best? No, not by a long shot. So when I hear people saying that this is the best screen on the market now, I said it in the other video, that's just a selling point, folks. The trick to marketing is to keep repeating something over and over and over. Keep feeding it to you until you start to believe this lie and say, and you know what, I guess it is good. Now, I'm not saying that OnePlus is lying, but what I'm saying is the hype behind the screen, I'm just not seeing it. It's just, I look at the screen, I see another screen. I don't see something so great about this screen. Everybody's, oh, it's so fast. I don't see it, man. I could be wrong, but no, I'm not wrong. I don't see this spectacular screen that everybody else sees. So what if you flick between things, it looks like it's moving faster, but okay. Or smoother, that's another selling point that you guys might get tricked into falling for. I don't know. Now, another area that I felt like let me just say it, the cameras. If you can't beat the G8 in the cameras, it's not happening. This phone right here, to me, I put it against my Pixel 3a XL for still shots, gets crushed. Video, gets crushed by the G8 in my opinion. I think the G8 looks better. I think the audio is better on the G8. I think there's a lot on the G8's cameras that is like my new benchmark for video. And still shots definitely go to the Pixel 3a XL. I looked at the portrait shots on here. Now you guys know I like to take portrait shots of things. And I like to take regular shots too. But the camera, now as of right now, May 2019, you can't record in a wide angle shot. Why that is, only OnePlus knows. Supposedly there are going to be some updates or something like that. I don't know. But fact of the matter is, no wide angle recording. And that's just it. The portrait shots on this phone look okay. So the portrait shots on the front camera look better than the portrait shots on the rear camera. I tested it time and time again. Every shot that I took just did not look great on this phone. And I compared it to the Pixel, and the Pixel's cameras slaughter, if that's a nice word. It slaughters the portrait shots and still shots, period, just photos, period, gets crushed by the $480 phone that I just picked up. And the $400 phone, if you have the smaller version, or the $300 phone if you bought it on Swappa. Those phones are flying off the charts on Swappa. People are buying the 3A and the 3A XL on Swappa like crazy. This phone though, lowest price point $669, highest price point which I hold right here, which is the 12 gig model, is $750. So cameras on here definitely not mind-blowing in my experience, because I've compared them next to two Titans that I have and it lost. And that's just the thing for me. If you can't beat out the G8 or the Pixel and they cost less, not worthy to stay in the catalog sometimes. But the reason this phone has to go is because there's a lot about it that I'm just not really feeling. That's just what it is. Everybody has that phone that they're just not really feeling. I think I psyched myself out by getting hyped about the phone itself with all the things that I thought I was going to be excited about. I've already had a pop-up camera. This camera pops up fast. The quality on the front camera to me is a little bit better than the rear for certain photos. It's nice. Now, as far as speed goes, I compared this phone in speed, daily tasks, next to the Pixel 3a XL. I compared it next to the G8. The 3a XL, second slower, half a second slower, costs 200 less or 100, around 200 or less. Customization. Everybody says, oh, the OnePlus, everything's built into the phone. You don't have to do anything. Well, I can just still do the same thing over here. I'll just download a launcher or whatever. You see what I'm saying? OnePlus is no longer the flagship killer that they used to be. That title, to me, belongs to this phone, the 3A line. The phone is good, folks. If you like it, I love it. But like I said, I'm gonna stay over here in my lane with all these phones that I have and review them all the same and take photos of the same thing so you can see the quality, shoot video of the same thing so you can see the quality. But it's not all bad with this phone. You know what I'm saying? The battery life is good. Easily can push down 8 hours of screen on time depending on what I'm doing. Stereo speakers are really, really nice. Not the best stereo speakers, but really, really nice. No headphone jack. They decided to take that away. No expandable storage. It doesn't have an IP rating, but we all know that it's water resistant. Everybody's talked about that already. I talked about it already. No secret. But this phone is not very big. It's very nice. It's just no wow factor for it. The wow factor that I'm looking for is definitely going to come from another phone, because it's not coming from this phone. The OnePlus 7 Pro is a nice option, but to be honest, folks, even though it's the 12 gigs and everything, the performance wasn't that different from other phones, and you can grab this phone for $669, and it may have half the RAM and half the storage, but I'm pretty sure it's probably gonna perform the same. Seriously. OnePlus phones are fast, no doubt. They pack all the specs in, But every year I've heard the same thing from OnePlus, is that this phone is going to have the best cameras. This phone is going to be the blazing fast. What good is it to be fast if when standing still? Anybody know the rest of that? I'll let you guys figure it out. The phone is fast, but it still doesn't measure up in a lot of ways to phones that I already have that cost less. And that's why this phone got on the chopping block of catch and release. The phone is good, I like it, but this will be one of the few times that I actually call up and ask for a return. Very rare over here. I keep the phones, I sell them, I take the loss sometimes, but I don't want to take an L on this by selling it, because I'm not going to get the $750 back because I've opened the box, I've used it or whatever. So I might have to sell it for like $650. Not going to happen. Then I got to ship it off. I'm within my 14-day return period, and stamp this date. I might pick this up again, but I'm going to do it differently. Now that I've experienced the 12 gig, I'm going to roll with the 6 gig, and I'm going to get mirror gray, because this phone itself is definitely great for the price tag. But if I get another one, it's just going to be for reference to compare later on. I probably wouldn't even use it a lot, because to me, the cameras are good. I had someone say, I'm not going to say the person's name. I don't believe in shining on people like that, but someone said in another video, they don't care about the cameras on the phone. Huh? If you don't care about the cameras and you like battery, why are you buying smartphones? There are a ton of other phones out there that don't even have cameras, or have mediocre cameras that have tons and tons of battery life in them and big screens, and it's just a smarter purchase. You can save hundreds of dollars instead of spending $600-700 on a phone if you don't care about cameras, especially this phone. That could just be that OnePlus 7 Pro user who's so excited about their phone and they don't want to hear anybody say anything bad about it. There's a phone for everyone. I've said it a million times in this video, probably, maybe like twice. But this phone is nice. There's, again, battery, screen is immersive. Let me reach here. Speakers are decent. It looks good. You know what I'm saying? It's a nice looking phone. But I say to the masses, Google has mastered it with one camera, and I think you'd be really happy. You know, you don't get a headphone jack on here anymore. I should say anymore. You don't get a headphone jack. You know, and there's just a lot about this that I could probably go on in a live stream or something like that, but I'm not going to do it. This is a catch and release for the OnePlus 7 Pro, and stamp the date. And I don't know the last time I did a return, but here we are in May 2019, and I just requested my RMA for this phone. It's your man Jay. If you like the OnePlus 7 Pro, I'm happy for you. I like it too, but not enough to like it when I've got the phone, when it stands among the phones. And some of you guys are going to say, well, you can't compare it to the Pixel 3a XL. It's a mid-range phone. Well, that mid-range phone is right on par with this flagship phone. This is no longer the flagship killer. These are. It's your man Jay. Hope you guys enjoyed Catch and Release, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.